Well, hello everyone and welcome back to the channel here on a spooky Halloween where we're going to spend a night under the stars photographing these dead trees and this beautiful lake here you can see before me. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the salt lakes of Lake Ninian. Alright guys, so obviously most of you are going to tell me in the comments below that I haven't been on YouTube for a few years, and that's the case. Look, a lot of personal things going on and had to deal with them, get through those issues. But now, you know, I'm back at it and I'm going to be out. My little format change to the channel. It's going to be less photo shots with models and more photo shoots, more astrophotography, which is really my thing. That's actually how I learned photography, through astrophotography. So I'm going to come out to remote places like this. I'm going to be out under the stars trying to get lovely shots of the Milky Way, and then as we go into the summer here in Australia, I'll probably concentrate on things like the Orion Nebula, those sort of things, just getting out and about and using photography as a really good excuse to get out into the middle of nowhere and be one with nature, which I think is absolutely awesome. And guys, just so you're aware, I haven't had a fashion disaster here. The flies are extremely very friendly here. They're everywhere, so it's 35 degrees heat and I'm wrapping myself up in my hoodie just to keep the flies off me, so I can actually come out and talk to you and do this. So yeah, here I am looking like an idiot, but hey, who cares, right? Okay guys, so about an hour ago I set up my my Z6, Nikon Z6, on a day to night time lapse. Now what I've done on this one is I've tied it in with my shutter speed. So my shutter speed is a maximum of 15 seconds with a 2-second delay, so that's a 17-second interval in between shots, with a maximum ISO of 6400, because that's what I would shoot at Milky Way. My settings are normally ISO 6400, aperture f2.8 with a shutter speed of 15 seconds, and that's kind of what I've built into this. So I've left a 2-second distance between buffering, but made the priority every 17 seconds. So every 17 seconds this is taking a shot. Now what I'm going to do, you can't really see at the moment because of the way the light is, and I will show you the back of the screen a little bit later on. The sun is just going to set behind us here, or in front of us, sorry, and once that sun's set, then the Milky Way is going to appear and drop below. So what I'm going to do, you can see now on the bottom, I'm actually showing you on my PhotoPills app, the augmented reality, just showing you what's going to happen. Lots of stuff on the internet how that works. I'm not going to go into it too deep, but you can see what I'm trying to achieve. So I'm trying to get that, and what I'm hoping is when the stars and the Milky Way come down, I'm hoping we'll see some reflections in the lake from those stars, and it should look pretty cool. And also the shadow should start changing as the sun gets lower, so we'll see if that moves across the time lapse as well. So you can see my Z6 sitting here at the moment with the 60mm Viltrox lens on it. The main focus of that time lapse is going to be this dead tree. You can just see in the background here, it's just sitting there. Sun is coming behind it, putting it into a really nice silhouette at the moment. Really quite like that. It's quite a good effect there. What I'm not sure tonight, I am thinking to the left of where you are on the camera there, basically at a right angle with this camera somewhere over here, is cross lighting this. What I want to do is use one of my Yolanzis, maybe, I don't know, 1 or 2%, just to pop a little smidge of light on there. It will give it a little warm glow, and that's purely a creative thing. I don't know if I want to go with that or if I want to keep the silhouette theme throughout the time lapse. I do think a bit of colour, a bit of light would be good. Add a bit of colour, and it might just pop a bit of something off the salt here, which is you know, it's quite white. There's quite a texture to it as well, so the light on it might you know, spread the light and make it look good. I don't know. So I will have a play around with that later on. And yeah, I'll keep you guys informed on how that's going and what we're doing. But so far, so good. As you can see, I'm still dressed like an idiot. The flies are all over the place. They haven't calmed down yet. The good news is there's a tiny, tiny breeze, which is different. And the temperature's dropped now. We're about 32 degrees. It's not quite the 35 it was, or the 37 when I first rocked up. So I'm hoping as that sun goes down, temperature starts to drop, might be able to take this off and feel a little bit more comfortable. And then we'll have a cook up. I've got some nice pork chops for dinner tonight. I'm going to cook them up on the back of the ute, and then we will go just as it gets dark and we will start taking the photos. We'll leave this running and we'll go and have a look at where we're going to be photographing. Okay guys, so when I first got here, this tree here, this really struck my eye. As you can see, it's obviously dead. You know, there's salt all around the main roots down there. It's died, it's horrible. This salt's got into it and killed it. But it's definitely got a bit of character, a bit of something to it. And it's ideal for this shoot tonight on Halloween. So what I'm hoping to do with this now, I'm not showing the exact setup because that would be facing at the sun and that would be terrible for the video. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot a wide panorama across the way here with the Milky Way stretching across the top of this. I just think this would be a perfect shot for that Milky Way. But how I'm going to do that tonight, I'm going to go back to the ute once it gets dark and I'm going to get the tracker out. I've got my Star Adventurer Mini. I'm going to track my panorama. I'm going to get some track shots of the Milky Way because I've only got a few hours before that drop. So I want to make sure I've got some really good tracked Milky Way pictures. And then later on in Photoshop, I can blend them into this lovely scenery that we've got here, but I'll shoot it in a way that it's correct where the Milky Way would be. Okay guys, so as you can see, there are just literally compositions everywhere here. It's going to be epic tonight for my astrophotography. I can't wait. The lake itself is like glass, it's reflecting everything. There's not really much in the way of wind. I'm going to get lovely reflections off the night sky on that lake and I can't wait to get that. That's going to be good fun. I think in the meantime, probably the most important thing for me to do now is go and get the drone ready. That sun's coming down, so I'm going to shoot the drone footage that you guys have already seen. So I hope you liked it. And we'll see how that turns up. I've also got a lovely pork chop waiting for me, which I'm going to grill up on the back of the ute. I'm going to enjoy that and hopefully stop eating these flies. So guys, we'll catch up with you at the ute. Okay guys, here we go, most important meal of the day. I've got to admit, been looking forward to these pork chops all day. Can't beat a pork chop. I do love a steak, but there's just something about a pork chop that you can't beat. So tonight I've got that. Just going to season with a little bit of the salt and pepper mix. Keep it simple, nothing over the top. And just let it simmer away. Now obviously in an ideal world, I'd wash it down with a beer, but I'm driving tonight, so I haven't got a beer in my fridge, unfortunately. So I think what I'm going to do tonight is I'm just going to stick to the cold water. I've already smashed a few cold waters, and in my little fridge here, in fact, I think I'll wash it down just with a refreshing can of Coke. Now, some of the other stuff I take here, I've got a little kettle in there, which if I want to have a coffee or something later on, I've got a big tub of water at the back there. I've got a cold flask in the front of the car, should I want it. But right now, I'm going to eat this. As you can see, it's starting to get dark. I'm having to use a little light to light me up. And then I think we'll give it another half an hour or so, and we'll be into our night shoot. And I'll tell you what, there is not a cloud in the sky. I'm just starting to see Venus rise. It's looking really good, so I'm going to go and feed my face. I might get my little camp chair out and sit down, and I'll catch up with you guys shortly. Cheers. All right, guys, welcome back. So we're here, as you can see behind me. Well, I don't know if you can. Beautiful Milky Way is starting to arch. You can see it with the naked eye. You can see Venus. Obviously Venus is going to drop, followed by the Milky Way core. So if you can see that in the camera, that's just behind my head there. Looks pretty cool. All right, we're at the bit everyone loves. This is where we do what we call the polar alignment of our star tracker. Very, very simple. We're going to align it to the North Star, and I know you guys are going to say that's absolutely crazy. Look, it's very simple. It's through the floor using that Sky Safari Plus. Taking a screen video of it now so you guys can see it, and we're going to dial that in and align it with the North Pole. All right, so for you guys in the Northern Hemisphere, you could do the same, but for the Southern. And just for your own knowledge, I've got it on a little turntable. And this turntable here can be done up. It just allows me to spin that a little bit more accurately, and then I can dial it in. So I've got that at a nice angle now. So I'll lock that in, just nip that across slightly. Okay. Now I've done the whole spinning thing. Look, there's people that have done much better videos than this one showing you how to do the polar alignment. Okay, I'm not gonna go too much into it. There's heaps on there. But as you can see on that screen shot on the video, I'm just lining it up with the North Star. Somewhere just about, maybe just a tiny amount out. So I'm just going to bring that in and lock it in there. So there we go, I'm quite happy with that. That's now got my star tracker pointing to the north, so we're aligned with the North Star, which is actually through the floor, or the Southern Star, which is directly polar opposite it. So that's now good to go, and I'll take the Sky Safari off, and I'll put the Star Adventure Mini on, and we'll start tracking that Milky Way. Just gonna undo this now, and take this off, slides off, very, very easy. Good thing about doing it in the dark, simple. And then my Star Adventurer just literally slides in the same thing. And then that locks in place here. That's not going anywhere. What I'm going to do now is get my USB cable and a power pack. I'll get this thing running, and I'll set up my little V plate ready with my camera on. And then that will allow me to start shooting the Milky Way behind us. So bear with me. All right guys, so we've got the Star Adventure all set up, so look, very, very easy. Connected via Wi-Fi on your phone. I just leave it in continuous running mode. I don't do anything flashy with it. It's just powered by a very, very simple battery bank, power battery bank. You can get these all over the place. Don't go for the big power one, it doesn't need it. I think this one's only a 50 milliamp one, so don't worry about that one. 15 milliamp, that will run all night. If you are using a lens warmer, which I won't be doing today, it's about 28 degrees at the moment, then if you're running a lens warmer, then maybe you might want a bigger one. But for what I'm doing tonight, this thing will run for ages just on what I've got there. So that's basically my setup now. And this is continuing, and this is following the course of the sky, the trajectory of the sky. So what I'm going to do now is put my camera on, and I'll start shooting my panoramas. So guys, I'll see you shortly. All right guys, I don't know what you can see in this video. So behind me, Venus is very, very low at the moment. We're just getting some lovely compositions along here at the moment. Lots and lots of composition. I'm just hitting them off one after another. Just finished my panos. I had to work through that really quick. So I've got my panorama tracker done. I've got a few individual track sky shots. So now I'm just going to go around and shoot my foreground and try and get what's left of the night sky. Once I've got my foregrounds done, I do want to give my time lapse maybe another couple of hours, so I'll probably get the star tracker back out, and I'm going to shoot the Melangenic clouds. They're just over in that direction at the moment, behind the camera to your left. I'm going to photograph them and see what that looks like, because you know they make some impressive backdrops as well. So in the meantime, I'm just going to work through some of these compositions on the ground, and I'll catch up with you again shortly. All right guys, made it back to the car now. It's been an awesome night for shooting tonight. Now I wanted to say a little bit more to the camera, but unfortunately I had to work really, really quick. That Milky Way core was coming down a little bit faster than I expected. And look, when I was doing my panorama, I had a little problem with one of my shutter release buttons, so that took a bit of time. So I was kind of working really, really quick to get through it. But we got there, got some stunning images, and I hope they've come out really well, but they look good. So anyway guys, I want to welcome you back to the channel once again. It has been many years since I've released some videos, and as I said, this is a different format. So thanks for joining me tonight under the stars. I really appreciate that. And if you would, give me a like, give me a subscribe, give me some comments. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to make more content like this, middle of the night stuff. I'll probably show a little bit more about behind the scenes of my camping and some of my setups when I take my swag out, stuff like that. Tonight's just been a very simple one. I'm going to drive home. It's only an hour and a half from here, so I'm going to drive home afterwards. And I don't know if you can see in the background, but we have Orion there rising in the east, as she always does, as he always does. And that's going to be something to look forward to in the during the summertime. Here in Australia, Orion is predominant in the sky. It's early on at the moment, so as the Milky Way is setting in the west, Orion is rising in the east. So that will give us something to go out and shoot, try and concentrate on the nebula, the birthplace of many stars, I believe, and see what we can do. So that'll be some fun getting out shooting that. And other things, the Magellanic clouds, they are up in the sky at the moment. They're obviously worth shooting as well. Maybe that's something we'll target another time. But as far as the Milky Way core goes, I think that's really much it this next couple of nights, and that's it really, because obviously the moon will be back up and we probably won't see the Milky Way core now at least till late February, early March maybe, if we're lucky. And then that way, when we see that, it will be rising in the east, sort of about 3, 4 in the morning, as Orion will be setting in the west. So, you know, people seem to think, oh well, that's the end of the Milky Way, no more night photography. Absolutely not. It's just an excuse to go and shoot something else like Orion. So that will be what I'm planning to do over the next few months. So guys, until the next one, really appreciate you tuning in and getting back involved with the channel. I hope you enjoy the images which I'm about to show you, and I hope the time lapse comes out well, and I hope you like that. I will give you more information in other videos about what we do and how we do it. But anyway, from Lake Ninian, good night and thank you very much. We'll see you next time.